We're going to explore now the alignment of Cobra, or in Sanskrit Bhujangasana, which it means literally that, and it kind of resembles the cobra or any kind of serpent just getting ready to defend themselves. It's a back extension. You're going to feel that you're lifting the upper body while the rest of the body is laying down on the floor, which is going to feel right away on your sacroiliac region and lumbar. So we're going to begin laying down on the floor, belly facing down. And I like to always begin with a baby Bhujangasana, which is the most gentle and safe of your back extensions. Preparing always the deeper ones once you have stayed here for a while, or preparing your Urdhva Mukha, that is your upward facing dog, that requires more strength and a deeper back extension. So the alignment of your baby Bhujangasana is, remember how we always use reference of our own body. So the elbows are going to be exactly the same distance than your shoulders. So under the shoulders, it's very easy to notice that. And the position of the hands with fingers wide open. Now the rest of the body, it's first comfortably just laying down. I can have my heels together and the feet and the legs together. But if you notice, doing this action of externally rotate the legs until my heels are together, you're going to feel it on your sacrum area, all the pelvic and sacroiliac area. If you feel that you're compressing too much and it doesn't feel right, then separate a little bit the distance of your feet, and you're going to feel how it releases that pressure on your sacrum area. So do what is best for the position of the legs. And then we're going to focus on the actions. The actions, first of all, is not allowing the chest to collapse like this and the shoulders will get closer to the ears. You have to press the forearms down, and not only down. Try to feel that you want to slide the forearms back. If you do that action, you're going to feel that even your pubis, that it's on the floor and part of your lower belly, it's going to slide forward. Just by feeling how I gently slide without moving the forearms and the hands, I just try to feel that I'm pulling towards my hip, the elbows. And that's going to feel quite intense for the back. So that's why I like beginning with this, because if this is enough for you, then you should totally stay here in this pose. The other important action of the body is not to tense the glute. And many times we feel like we have to, kind of like to protect the lower back and be able to go deeper. Now try to do this instead. Try to press the pubis down. And when I say the pubis down, the bone that we have right here at the front, the idea is to roll slightly the buttocks down. The sitting bones want to be facing towards the back knee, or another instruction that I try to guide students to do this action is to feel that your coccyx or sacrum wants to turn towards the pelvis. So it's an internal rotation of your pelvis. That action is going to make you push the pubis a little bit more, and the glutes are going to be active, but they're not going to be tense. If we tense too much the glutes, we might press a nerve, and then you're going to have inflammation, and you're going to have pain on the lower back or pain on the side of your hip. So let's try to avoid tensing the glutes. Pressing pubis down, slightly the chin, a little bit higher than parallel to the floor or parallel to the floor. Sometimes you're going to hear that you want to look up, and then people then just lifts too much the chin, and it compresses the cervicals, the vertebrae of your neck. So try to keep your head centered, and the looking up, it's just the intention of having your gaze towards your third eye. So it can be to the front, slightly up, or it can even be with your eyes closed and paying attention to your third eye. What is important is to lengthen all the back in a back extension, and that means as well your neck. So not collapsing, not relaxing legs. I feel my body active. Now, if I want to go deeper, we have a lot to play with. The distance between the hands and my hip, it's going to be key to know where I should stay to practice the back extension. So I push the hands until I can straighten the arms. I still have active legs. I still have my pubis pressing down, and I'm still not collapsing my shoulders. I want to push until I feel that my hands want to go back and my heart wants to go front. If I feel that I can go a little bit deeper, then just continue moving your hands towards you. It can be very gentle, maybe 2 inches, maybe 5 inches. But again, the important part is the actions of the body, not how it looks. So avoid rounding the shoulder. You want to push it back. You want to press without tensing the glutes, and you want to enjoy a back extension. It's very important to do a counter pose after staying for a while here. Counter pose is doing the opposite of what you're working mostly. So if I'm doing a back extension, I want to rest with a child pose or a bending forward. I'm going to go down, belly to the floor. Maybe resting here, it's already enough of back extension, but maybe I can push with my hands next to my chest, and I can sit all the way back to my heels. And you're going to feel it right away how it stretches your back. Rest the forehead maybe on the floor. And this will be your counter pose. This asana, it's really good, especially for people who suffer with sciatica or compressing disc, deviated disc. So it's very good, but of course, if it doesn't feel right for you, just avoid the pose and do one that suits you in how the body feels. Thank you. I hope you learned something new today.